I want to call it a good story or like a positive story, and I hope that it is. I really do. Hamlin, the unfortunate um, football player who had a 1 in a billion freak accident um, on a tackle, had his heart just shut the fuck off, and basically died on the field, and they had to revive him and perform CPR, and I'm sure that they had to shock his heart back into rhythm. And he's been in intensive care since Monday. He's still in intensive care now. Today he opened his eyes and he's gripping people's hands. So that means at least he can wake up and recognize people, which is good. But who's to say what kind of like damage was done? His heart will probably never be the same. You know what I mean? It'll never be. I doubt his heart will ever be at full capacity again. Um, and I don't. Your heart stops beating for that long. After 4 or 5 minutes, you start to suffer brain damage. So he could have some deficiencies, mentally, unfortunately, from this. I really hope he makes a full recovery. I don't really care if he ever plays football again, to be honest with you. For me, I thought the only sort of, I don't want to call it a positive story because none of this is positive, especially if you're, you know, rational and logical and you think about why this happened, that nobody's allowed to talk to, or talk about. More than likely, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm very skeptical and cynical, but, it's hard to accept. It's hard to accept a 24-year-old guy in the prime of his life dying of a heart attack on Monday Night Football, unless something happened this year. And let's just say for an instant that the government, our beloved government, mandated something that said that if you don't do this thing, you can't do the thing that you love. And it's interesting too, because we're actually suffering through that right now as a family, a little bit. My daughter just re-registered for nursing school. She wants to become a nurse, and I want her to become a nurse, and I'm proud of her, where she's gotten to. She graduated with her, I think her associate's degree. She got accepted. She might even have her bachelor's degree, actually. I can't remember. She got accepted into a nursing program, and the only stipulation is she's gotta get that shot, man. You know what I mean? Like she's like they're like just like, nah, no matter what, you got to get that shot. Even though since the pandemic, it's been proven that natural immunity is as good, if not better, than the shot. You know what I mean? But they need her. They need her as that guinea pig. You know what I mean? But hey, like I talked about the other night, it's still under emergency authorization. So it's been proven to be slightly more beneficial than harmful. But, my daughter's no small girl. And so I pray that, as much as I'll be proud of her for accomplishing what she accomplishes, if something happens to her as a result of this, I'm probably going to dedicate my life to, to exposing these criminals. And whatnot, because it literally scares the shit out of me. And that's not to say that the actual illness doesn't scare the shit out of me, because it does that too. This whole thing is sinister. I've been reading a lot about it. I don't know if any of you read about it, but I guess, as I said, I've been suffering with some breathing issues since my last bout of it. And there's this thing called long COVID that exists now, and I kind of have the symptoms of it. And my lungs have been severely impacted by it. And they're talking about it's like from the spike protein, that the spike protein on this thing is like impossible for your immune system to break down and get rid of. And the immunoresponse and the cytokine storm that it creates in your lungs are so damaging to the tissue of your lungs that you may never make 100% recovery. Imagine creating something so deadly or so violently evil as this is, that even when you make it through it, you may never be the same.